being registered as a candidate is not a prerequisite to professional registration. Here's a quick question for you. What is with this, I'm going to hand you over from the Engineering Council of South Africa? Let me just contextualize this quickly. So a lot of the candidates are receiving these letters from the Engineering Council stating that they're going to hand them over. Hand them over. What does that mean even? So they've appointed a debt collecting company to collect candidate fees who are in arrears. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't want to slate EXA, but I haven't seen any communication regarding this issue. In the past, this wasn't the issue. So if you registered as a candidate with the Engineering Council, you pay your fees, or you choose not to register as a candidate, or you are registered as a candidate and you pay your fees, but then you stop paying your fees. And as soon as you stop paying your fees, then you get this letter that they're going to hand you over. I'm sorry, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's in light of the identification of engineering work that they're forcing candidates to register now. In my mind, it's simple. I haven't seen any communication regarding you have to be registered as a candidate to register as a professional. I haven't seen that. In the past and up to date, being registered as a candidate is not a prerequisite to professional registration. Number two, what benefits did you gain by being registered as a candidate with EXA? What services did they deliver? What benefits? As I said, what was the purpose of registering as a candidate? Only but to show commitment to your professional registration, I guess. I haven't seen any communication from EXA regarding this matter as well. So if you haven't paid your fees for, let's say, a year or two, are they going to backdate it and backdate all those fees and keep you liable to pay that? Seriously? That could amount to a couple of $1,000. And then are the Engineering Council going to hold you at ransom by stating if you don't pay your fees, you can't register as a professional? That is dangerous grounds, very dangerous. So what is the deal? I can't get behind the motivation or anything like that. The only thing that I could establish is that there's a lot of people that are not happy. The candidates are up in arms, and EXA's done nothing. So what do you do in a case like this? I have asked people for some advice on this. I'm still waiting for some feedback. I've also contacted some people in the legal fraternity to see, does the candidates have a leg to stand on, or what is the deal? Some of the candidates just says, well, this is a straightforward attempt for EXA to generate more income. That's the feeling that's out there. Yeah, so I'm a little bit confused. If you've got more information or you would like to share with me, please let me know. It's put the candidates in a bad light. It's got them up in arms. EXA's not doing anything about it. They're not responding to the actions from the candidates, the objections, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something that I'm not aware of, or sure, I don't know. But anyhow, so that's the latest. I will keep you posted to see if there's any outcome from these ones. I've attached a letter that was sent to one of the candidates so you can see, what's the deal with it. And, it's not a soft entry. It's like a hard, you in arrears, you have to pay this money, otherwise action will be taken against you. What action? Are they going to sue you? Are they going to put you in jail? So, I don't know. So, yeah, interesting times.